Howdy do, folks. It's time to get rich in Asia session right here. This could be a. Oh man, got stopped out. This looks like a reversal pattern. That is a good breaker on the 1 minute. So we could be offering higher, but I'm expecting it to fail. I'm going to sell 3 more right there. Just straight gamble on my combine here. No reason, it's just my hunch for the whole freaking rest of the month is that we're going down. And we may offer back up in here to the new week opening gap, which wasn't very big. Not very big at all. What do I have on that risk? I have $200 on the risk. Dadgum. Let's put a little more on that risk. We're going to put $423 on that risk. Looking at the chart, there's no reason I should be going long here. A short here. It's saying long all the way. I don't want that. I don't want that one. I want to clone this. But I'm basing it on my hypo and my chart analysis, not on the current price action that I'm seeing. Kind of like the silver trade I did. My hypo was that we would try to work into this and then fall, but we didn't. We opened lower and then fell out of bed. So this is a combine here. I actually have a trade on over here as well on my XFA. The one that was in $18, I caught the down move on it, and I got 256 on it. But this one right here, I'm down 120 bucks on it right now because I clicked off of it and went over there to that. So what I would like to see here, really don't need to be messing around with it, which maybe I already got stopped out on that one. Yeah, that one. That one's the one I'm in on. And we're right at the $100 mark. So ideally what I'd like to see is this fair value gap with the downside right here be respected. Center point right there. 122 is possible. How much do I have on that one? I have $110 on 1 micro on this one. And this is XFA that's depleted. I mean, I did just straight lost every single day for the last 6 days. Doing stuff like this, very, very, very similar behavior. So if I lose this one, I won't be surprised. But we took a 4-hour regular trading hour low and we put up a reversal pattern, so I will not at all be surprised. I mean, look at it. It's a beautiful pattern. That's saying we're going all the way to the highs right there. But I'm wanting it to be a head fake like it's been. I took a lot of shorts last week that didn't pan out. Okay, so I'm wanting this one to be a head fake to the upside. And going back to round number after a drop like that, not alarming at all. Now if we go past this, it might get a little alarming. Now one more there. That's going to put my risk up at 150, and it's probably going to go. Probably going to go. But if it doesn't, where's my aim point? Right here. Last week's low. Right here. 24,412. I don't know if we'll go there in Asia. I really don't. It looks like it's ripping higher. Now we're at 111. 24,440. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to get smoked. All right, there's the halfway point of that fair value gap. That's what I want to be the line in the sand. I'm going to do one more right there. Oh, man. Oh, man. It won't be that much more money. 177. It was just, it's another 20, 30 bucks. But it looks like we're toast. I'm going to bump it up to $200. That's $250. I'll nearly smoke this combine. Because I like that 120 as a reversal point. If nothing else, we should be able to get to round number. Oh man, it's just ripping. It's just absolutely ripping higher. What? Oh, that's my DLL. Okay, I'm locked out of that one for the day. Goodness gracious, I keep forgetting I have that on there, and I do something stupid like that. That might have actually worked out. See how the combine's faring. If we get a reversal here, it's looking like we're going straight to the end log. Look over here in a 15-second. I mean, there is no reason. Well, that's settlement right there. That's settlement at 131. Yeah, I'll have to make a new high of the day and take a bunch of my money away. If it rejects off settlement, I'm adding to this position. But the way it's looking right now, I'm about to get smoked. What an incredible turn of events, huh? ripped down at the open. It put up a beautiful reversal pattern. I have nothing to complain about here. This is my stupidity. This is what causes me to lose money. I trade what I think instead of what I see. And it looks like I'm about to get smoked for $400 on this combine. What you doing, corn dog? Maybe we just want to go back to the bottom of the end log. You look at the end log, it's right here. That's the bottom, that's the top. What's my 147? We're definitely going back to 150. I'm gonna have to give it more room. I'll get above that high. Those, oh man, those are relative equal highs. We're definitely going back to there. So let's do that. And how does that fare with this? Those are the relative equals, 50% of last week, RTH high. Man, I should just kill this. I have a $400 DLL on this. I gotta kill it. I can get back in because I've got to change my DLL. I'm going to change it to 800 because I just screwed up royally. That's quite the open for Asia. That is exactly what I did not expect. 128 point rip down, followed by a 128 point rip straight back up. Interesting. Very, very interesting. With a beautiful reversal pattern, I might add, that I completely ignored. That was an error. Big time error on my part. Goodness gracious. That is a nice reversal pattern. Even on the 15-second chart, it's wonderful. That's exactly what I look for in a reversal pattern. Got my short blinders on again. It should be a purple one. Relative equal highs here. Wouldn't it be crazy if we don't even take it? Work the end log. Last up close. Pulled away with a fair value gap. Back to settlement. How high are those? 162. We're at 136 right now. Yeah. I need to just let this thing play out. That was a rip. So 385 short in the combine. Locked out. One of my XFAs already. And I got one more I can play with. And actually made some money on that one. I wish I would have caught the long. I need to regroup. I need to regroup. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. one heck of a Judas swing. Leading the goats to slaughter, and I was the goat. I gotta quit gambling. Gambling's much more fun, but I really need to quit because I lose when I gamble. I didn't want it to go back into that end log, so I'm gonna kill it. Well, halfway's not bad. We make a new, if we go back through that end log high, then I'll kill it. Do we run those lows and keep going down, or run those lows and go straight back up? See if I can get stopped out at break even a million times this week too. There's one. 999,000 more to go. I'm going to zoom out here to a higher time frame. We're going to do a 15-minute. Well, son of a gun. We're going to do a 15-minute over here. So you can see the levels that I have marked. If you did not watch my Thanksgiving week chart levels video, those are the levels that I've got picked out for the week. And when we made that push down, 100 points in the very beginning of Asia session is pretty big. My hypo was that we would actually, from a daily chart, we would try to work up into these and fail. Or maybe we get to 50% of last week and fail. I actually wanted it to push higher and fail, and then I would take a short. That's what I would like to see happen. But jumping in on that short after that push down, that was stupid. If it would have worked out, it would have been brilliant. But right now, it's stupid. The one thing I said I was going to do this week was trade what I see and not what I think. And this is a 15-minute. It looks like we're struggling to get above those relative equal highs. I think they'll fall, but maybe not. If I see a reversal pattern here, I'll take it. Even with those relative equal highs right there, I'll still take it. But it looks like they're going to fall, at least. I think I better go with a 5-minute. Jamie Salgado asked me to do a 5-minute scalping video. And this would be the beginning of a little bit of a 5-minute range right there. Settlement to the top of the end log. Another thing I intended to do was pick levels, take my trade and let it work out or not work out. Right now, my level is here or here for a reversal to the downside, possibly even working up into this fair value gap here. But that push down, followed by immediate rebalance, I don't know. We definitely have a low for the Asia session right down here that we can mark out. We opened at, that's our opening candle, first 5 minutes, straight freaking down. So we would mark that as the Asia pre-market low. Just pre-low. And the pre-high, we're still working on. We cleared those with no problem at all. Man, I wish I would have taken that reversal pattern. I feel like an idiot now. Five-minute fair value gap here from Friday. I don't know if that matters at all. Also a 15-minute fair value gap there, I believe. Yeah, we're already pushing through it. There's two of them, one right above it. Those levels do matter. Right now, to avoid a gambling trade, I need it to hit this level or that level before we reverse. Maybe we're going to all-time highs. The daily chart, to me, this conglomeration looks bearish, but we also have relative equal highs up here. But that looks bearish to me. This candle wick right here, we didn't get above the halfway point of it. That's bearish, and I mean we fell hard. But we also took out that low and rebounded. It's hard to say, really is. $50% of last week is sitting at right at the 225 level. I think we got to let it play out. Get us a first hour of trading. This is Asia. Asia session just opened. They don't have a daylight savings time that I'm aware of. And so their pre-market opens at 5 now instead of 6 like it was doing when we were in daylight savings time. But it is their pre-market. So all I can do right now is sit on my hands, put on some mood music. It is a holiday week. We may just range here. It's not a holiday in Asia, though. Holiday week. They don't observe Thanksgiving over there. What do we got going here, folks? That looks like a red candle forming. I'm going to switch over to practice and do a little Jamie Salgado 5-minute range play. If this is the beginning of a 5-minute range, I would put an order here. I'd actually do it over here. I guess it doesn't matter. I would buy one here, because we're having a bullish pattern right at the low of this candle. Let's see, the low is 163.50. I'm at 163 even, so I'm going to move it up one tick to 163.25. The range of that candle is 12 points. So that would be $220 if we can get that filled and get back to that top on a mini. That's if and only if we don't fall out of bed. Let me see what my risk parameters are on this practice account. 1,000 and 1,000, perfect. Time is 5:46. The Asia session proper opens in 14 minutes. Make sure you mark out your end log. We like to work those things. It's not much of one this time. It's only a couple of points. About 5 points. Asia's first presentation fair value gap on a 1-minute chart is gigantic, and we violated it immediately. It's this one right here. We can't use the opening candle, but that's it. Took that low, beautiful reversal pattern, and I ignored it completely. That's the 1-minute chart instead of the 5. Didn't quite get filled, but we should. On the 1-minute chart, these wicks are the lowest, so it could possibly poke into those. That's weird, the 5-minute chart doesn't show that. So they were part of this candle. The 1-minute chart, we didn't take either one of those. We should before we go up. We'll see if it pans out on this 5-minute chart. We just took the high of it. That's interesting. So now our aim point would be here. I don't like the 5-minute range play just simply because, I mean, this one would have been okay if you got filled here, but it happened immediately. This one would have been decent for a fill, and then take that wick. Just kind of like micro scalping on a 5-minute chart. We already took the high, so I'm assuming we're going to offer lower. We took that low. Now where are we going? This is why I don't do range play, because I pick the candle where it decides to break the range every single time. And I'm also a overtrader, and range play provides many opportunities for overtrading. If you're doing a quick little scalp, trying to get like $200 a day in a combine or in an XFA or something, you would have already gotten there. This one's got some teeth that could go all the way up. But the hope is that we would go at least to that wick right there. And possibly even this one. That one's at 83. We'll just say this one. The high of that one is 178.50. We're at 178.75, so that should work out if we offer higher. Hey Jamie, you're watching. All right, I'm doing this just for you. I passed a combine 5-minute taking profit at 10 and 20 points, and that's it. Well, the thing you got to understand, Jamie, I've been doing this 2 years, and this is one of the things that I attempted to do with consistency, and I could never get consistent with it. And that's why I say it feels like gambling to me, because there is no guarantee that this thing isn't going to rip right back down to settlement in one candle. There's no guarantee. So in order to remain more consistent, I put in the set of rules that we need to take a 4-hour high or low, and I need to see a reversal pattern before I'll get involved in a trade. Now, do I follow those rules all the time? Absolutely not. And I do gamble, and I like gambling, but I'm trying to get away from that because that's just a bad habit I developed. Can you make money doing this? Absolutely. But if you take more than one trade in a range, your chances of failing go up. And I'm a classic overtrader, and so I'd get in a range like this, I'd short the high, I'd long the low, and I'd want to get 10 trades out of that one little section. But see right there, there's 10 points, that's $200 on I mean, I could just kill it right there, I got the money. We're good. It's looking like this one's going to work out. But 5-minute ranges are definitely something you can do, as long as you're disciplined enough to stop. And I would do it at the direction of the trend as well. And do we have a trend direction right now? I don't know. In the last, since we're open, we did a Judas, and then now we're going up. So I would say we do. So there's $310 on one. Now you could short the high again and think you're going to come down here, but we're breaking the range now. So now you would just wait for it to fall into a new range and do the same thing. You could have done that here, and you could have done that here. Also on Friday, you could have done it here. So for me, I would have done it right here, and this would have happened. And on the high end, I would short it here, and that would have happened. That's why I don't do it. Yeah, it's just, Jamie, I have no doubt you can make money doing it. No doubt at all in my mind that you can make money doing it. I wouldn't go past the third candle ever, because we usually break after that. 1, 2, 3, and now we're kind of breaking. But we may not. I mean, we may stop there, but I would imagine we'll start offering higher. But I've done it enough times and got burned that I decided that I would try something else that I could get more consistent with. You could do even half candle ranges here since we broke it. This candle here, the halfway point, you could enter along right there. Looks rather algorithmic. But is there any guarantee we're not going to come back down here? Nope, there isn't. I really feel like there's lots of people that could have success with this. But for me, it lends to overtrading, and there's just a little bit of ambiguity to it. This is a beautiful reversal pattern after taking a 4-hour low. That's the trade I should have waited for. I should not have grabbed that. But I did grab that, and I did make some money on it. But I lost it in another account, not in the same account. I switched accounts, and I lost it on that run back up, ignoring this because of the hard push down. But this is the only thing I should have taken a trade on, because that's a whole lot more points than this little push down at the open. You'll see there, if you would have taken that half, you'd be in trouble. But you could have taken it there, maybe. We went to 90. What about taking round number here, guys? We're all the way back down to 66. Are you kidding me? Two minutes to the Asia Open. 2 minutes. All right, Jamie, we'll see you later, man. This is a practice account. I'm not doing it in my real account. That was a classic Judas swing there. My hypo for the week is short, and I am looking for an opportunity to get short. Asia open in 1 minute. We have an Asia high clearly marked and an Asia low clearly marked. This has now become a significant level. We could take the Asia high, put up a reversal pattern, and go down, and that would be a tradable pattern. On the 1 minute chart, where would our breaker be? Be that guy right there. Unless we make a new high, and then it could move up the chain a little ways. Wait a minute. Yeah, the last down close before the run up. So yeah, it would be this one currently. Potential bullish, bearish. Potential bearish. Orange guy. Breaker. Relative equal highs, these are going to fall for sure. And that would make this guy our breaker. Unless we have more reds. I like this as our reversal point. I like that a lot. Leave those highs, touch that line, fall out of bed. Asia is officially open. The pre-market had a whole lot more movement than Asia so far. I mean, that is a nothing burger. Come on, people. That's the Asia this is all pre-market. That's the actual opening candle for Asia right there. After all of that, we get 14 points on the opening candle. Wow. That 5 minute range is still doing work. It's gonna put me right to sleep. sick of the Asia session. $6.06. We've done nothing. That's the whole macro movement right there. Lower high. We're not even going to take the pre-market high. And this is still our breaker. I think we're just going to take that low and pop up. What significant level did we take up top? Nothing. Taking that 15-minute low now. Filled in this fair value gap. Possible this could be a reversal. We do have a fair value gap to the downside right here. So forming. It's not there yet. I think it's more of a scalp than it is a complete reversal. But right now we do have that. Let's see if it gets respected. If we even get a pullback to it. Man, that's violent. Back to the end log. So definitely have a fair value gap. Now let's see what this next candle does. I would not expect it to respect it, but it might. We certainly didn't want to go any higher than that. We left the macro, that's the first, no, we're still in the macro. This was not going to be a fair value gap there. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Back to settlement. No opportunity to enter yet. I don't know what my risk parameters are on this combine here. 200 max profit 1540. That can be dealt with. ran those lows, 5-minute perspective, that would be those right there. Let's see how we perform with this line here, this little setup right there. I would expect it to push through all of that. These are pretty good size Asia candles, guys. It's 25 points. That's my stop loss, 25 points. It's a pretty good size candle. .50 run down. It's still looking bullish. .60 run down. That's interesting to me. Why didn't we make it back? 15-minute candle perspective, we took that low, lower high, left that. Still no opportunity to enter at the fair value gap. Unless we go to a smaller time frame, maybe. We went into this one. Did we even get that volume imbalance? Barely wicked into it there. Lower high, or higher low rather. I'm really thinking short for the week, but if you think about Friday, we dipped a 4-hour low and ripped higher. And today, we dipped a 4-hour low and ripped higher. We went up, hung out here the rest of the day. We did end up respecting this breaker, and finally we pulled back to here, and that's the low we just took out. We got both of those. But we are struggling to get any higher. We're just back to settlement, but this is pre-market. That's also pre-market. Man, I can't believe my eyeballs. Still no opportunity to enter up here at the fair value gap, but this is putting another one up. Right here. There's a volume imbalance there. I'm going to try to get in at settlement. Even though we didn't take that high. We did have one push, another push. We're out of bed. Fair value gap. Didn't make it back to it. That one made a little higher high. I'm going to try to get in at settlement. So that's 131. Hold on. We went to 17. Let's try it. What the heck? Settlement is 130. 131.50. Well, that's close enough. That's 131.75. Let's see how quickly I get smoked on this one. Right back to NWOG. Bottom. These are big candles for Asia. They really are. If nothing else, I can get out at settlement, I guess, if we go back to it. If we don't rip through this, I'm going to kill it. There's two stopped out at break even. Only 998 left to go. Got stopped out at break even 1,000 times last week. Either had stop out at break even or straight loser. This definitely looking like a high resistance run on whatever this is. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We could push lower here, but to me, we need to take something up here. We need to take something up here. I wouldn't trust a push here. Or at least come back to breaker and try to get higher. I guess you could say that was an attempt to push higher. And it failed. High or low, maybe a long. That settlement would be the better thing to do. I don't trust it. I want to see something up here get taken out first, so y'all just gonna have to listen to the mood music. I'm walking away. We created a fair value gap to the downside on the 5-minute chart. We didn't even work into it. Maybe we're coming back down to this breaker for a push higher. Definitely dipping lower, definitely. Dead middle of the range. .106 is middle, so probably round number. This is a continuation of Friday, where we tried so hard during New York to get higher and couldn't, and then here we're trying again and we can't. Trend line. I'm gonna sell one. I'm gonna sell two short. Right here at settlement. Come on, fill me. 32.50. Right there. We'll just fill it right there. Probably gonna get smoked, but maybe not. That's $200 on two. Dang, that would suck. No more than 100. See how I talked myself into taking that trade? 14, 24, 14, 24, 631. Heck, I wouldn't even have to get all the way down there and this would fund that combine. Zero confidence in this trade, zero. Took that low, bounced back up. Watching this wick. Want to stay below the halfway point of that wick. All right, that's it. I'm out. There's another 50 bucks. This is the combine, right? Yeah, I'm not in an X. I'm trying to enter right there at that 75% mark of this wick right here. It's a little, yeah, 39.50. I'm at 35. I need to be at 39.50. Too late. Bottom of the end log, 42. It got there, but I just missed it. Didn't have my fill in the right spot. This is our return to the breaker. Will we respect it? I hope not. I hope it pushes through. Because I don't want to take a short here. Good. Keep going. Man, I wish I would have got that fill. That was crap. I could have killed it right there. Would have been 30 points, 120 bucks. And I'm already down the hole on this combine for the night. All right, now we're getting somewhere. This guy can go away. $50 points on that fill. I was at 35. I wanted to be at 38.5, and it would have got me. If you look at that 15-second breaker, this one would have filled me. The low of that candle is 38.50. It would have filled me right there. And I was off over here. Already have over 40 points there. See how far we pull back. Are we going to pull back all the way to the end log? I think we can get a few points out of this. I think we take at least the Asia high. Maybe round number. I wouldn't mind seeing it come all the way up to here. There we go. 140 bucks. See if we can get back in on the pullback here. It never pulls back when it hits the round number unless I'm in a position and I don't want it to. It's pretty aggressive. It's definitely reaching for something up there. That wasn't bad. I mean, I grabbed a few points there. Got about $100 back. When I was doing silver in that competition in Ninja Trader on Friday, it touched that 50% to the tick and fell out of bed. And that's where I reversed, so that was perfect for me. See if it does it here too. There it touched. Pretty close. I like it. I may regret this, but I'm at least looking for round number here. Pretty aggressive move up though, so we could go to this. Oh boy, there went that $100 I just made. 33. Still want to get back to round number. It never pulls back to round number unless I'm wanting it to. Or if I'm in a position where I'm trying to get filled at round number. Otherwise it just rips right back to it. Seems like anyway. I think I need to get out of this one if I get an opportunity. Hopefully it'll pull back a little bit, at least the mid-20s. Get me out of here. We are at that 50% mark though. The breaker is that one. So maybe we'll get a little pullback here. And get that round number. Not looking good though. See how quickly you can get in the hole on just micros? If you can lose that much money on micros, you can make that much money on micros. This has no desire to slow down yet. Sure wish I would have got filled way back down there on the long. All right. I'm gonna kill this before I lose more than my $100. Pull back for me, just a little. Get down there to that pinprick. No revisit around number. Nobody else wants to buy anywhere on that run up. There's no orders at all. You gotta be kidding me. The big money's up there, got big orders up here wanting to sell short. Yeah, I gotta take it off. I just got to. We're about to rip. So I'm right back to 400 in the hole. I'm gonna be a good boy and I'm gonna wait for these to get taken and see what happens next. But I am going to copy my combine that's not locked. That one right there. So that one's my XFA 485, and I'm going to copy this with it. .485 is my leader. Combine is my follower. Save. And this combine is set to auto liquidate at 1500, I think. And loot. I'm already in the hole, so it's already about to do that business. So, yeah, that looks good. And then my lead. If I only do one combine starting, one micro starting out. There's no way I could even have $600 on that. I'm not going to worry about that. Because we're so volatile, I'm going to put in 100. Give it a little bit more room to run. And so on this, here or here, looking for a reversal pattern. Something I've never done, well, I've done it before in the past, but I haven't done recently, is look at things like I don't know if NinjaTrader would have them. They're pretty much just futures. Let's see if I can find it in Thinkorswim. Let's see, I need the platform. Okay, trade. No, I don't want that. I want a platform. Trading platforms. There we go. Thinkorswim. Paper money. Web. There we go. Finally, I find it. What are we doing over here? Pulling back before popping those highs. 251 is what I need to be watching for here. Y'all let me know if it gets there. Okay, so my watch list. Or maybe here I can do it. Tesla. That's what I wanted to see. I want to get rid of that active trader. where I can just see the chart itself. And what time frame are we on here? This is daily. Okay, so Tesla was up here, didn't want to push any higher, and it's what led Tesla and Nvidia both is what led to that big push down. So from a daily perspective here, is it even being traded now? We took these lows, that low, and now we're pushing back up, but we did create a fair value gap there. 405.56. It left the range and now it's returning right back to the bottom of the range. So it's a possibility it could continue to go. Let's try Nvidia. Back down to 27. Okay, so Nvidia, what in the world is that? One day, 1 minute? Oh, that was a 1 minute chart. We need to be on a bigger time frame. We need to be on like 3 months, 1 day. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm wanting to see here. Chart analysis on these guys. We have a gap down. We came and took that low. I could see it. I could see it coming and taking some of these lows out. So if this continues to fall, I could also see it filling that gap. If this continues to fall, it'll take the futures with it. Let's look at Tesla again in this time frame. So on the daily perspective, we pushed lower, we went back to half of that, and then pulled back. What are we working into down here? Fair value gaps. That's as far back as it'll go. It's looking a little bearish, so we could see some move down. I don't know. It's hard to say based on those charts. The seasonal tendency for stocks is that we fall out of bed in November, in the fall. I could see these relative equal lows down here getting taken. Be about a $50 drop from where we currently are. We also filled that gap. We have two fair value gaps to the upside. No. Do I see us offering back to the all-time highs? Probably not, but that gap right there might need to get filled. Does it need to get filled right away? I don't know. That's what Amazon's doing. Amazon made a high, went up, took those highs, fell out of bed, started pushing lower and filled that gap. I don't know. That's looking bearish to me too. What about Meta? Whoa. They don't look very good at all. Can we go to a weekly chart on this one? Year to date? Man, it's like kind of really getting down here. It's been falling a while. I don't think that's a Mag 7 driver right now. Oh no, C Microsoft MSFT. There we go. Okay, so Microsoft dipped got pretty close to those lows. It took it. No, it didn't quite take it. So we have relative equal lows on Microsoft. It could definitely push down and take those. This was the lowest low, and we got really close to it. That's lending to bearish. Google, Alphabet. Okay, so we have relative equal highs on it. We pushed down, back up on Friday a little ways. I don't know, it just broke a range to the bottom and then kind of went back to the bottom of the range. I could see it being bearish as well. There's one other that I'm missing. Berkshire Hathaway, I think, is in that, but I'm not sure. Nope. Berkshire Hathaway, yeah. Berk. No. Where's our... No I'm not getting it. I'm not putting the symbol in there right. Somewhere in here you can get a heat map. Moving up again. I'm wondering why my watch list is not on here anymore. There it is. A plus potential, maybe my list. Meta, Starbucks. Tesla dropped like 6% that day. Man, gold is nearly 5,000 freaking dollars an ounce. Good Lord. I bought ChargePoint a long time ago, and I'm still holding it, hoping it goes back up. We still didn't get up there. Dadgum. All right, we're getting into the macro now at 650, so we should push if we're going to push. So I don't know, guys. My hypo for the bearish until the end of this month, possibly middle of December. Do we have any news coming out? We're supposed to be starting to get some news reports. Aha, here we go, Monday. In the U.S., Empire State Manufacturing Index Waller speaks Tuesday. Fed minutes. That'll suck. It's old news, but it'll still move the market. Oh, here we go. Non-farm employment change. Unemployment claims. That's all the way till Thursday. Thursday is this isn't right. Isn't Thursday Thanksgiving? Am I wrong on that? Is Thanksgiving next week? Huh. Maybe Thanksgiving is next week. I thought it was this week. That's how bad I am. How about keeping track of holidays? Let's see, I'm gonna look. Yeah, it's the 27th. Thanksgiving is the 27th. So we have a week we can trade here that actually going to get some good numbers. Fed minutes, Wednesday. Thursday, this isn't NFP. This is employment change, but we will have, well, maybe. I think NFP is actually going to be on Friday. No, flash manufacturing services. I don't think this is the big one, but it looks like it is. Unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, that's non-farm. Let's see. Release delayed by 48 hours due to U.S. government shutdown. Changing the number of employed people during the previous month. So yeah, that is going to be our non-farm employment change and non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll is going to be this one. So we'll get some movement this week for sure. And I think it's actually the previous month. But we don't have anything really serious Monday or Tuesday. We have a little bit of something on Monday at 7:30. Speakers. Fed budget balance. We're just hanging out. Another macro that does nothing. So the last one, in the last couple of minutes of the macro, ripped down, took out that, and then here we went. But that one didn't get filled. I would like to see it take this, or fail to take it, or rip down and let me in again. This is Asia's pre-market high. And not the actual high. We're at the high. What a yawner. What a yawner. I've noticed, I've been so accustomed to saying, oh, I think it's going to take that blue line and clicking it and try to get there, that I really have to talk myself out of taking these gamble trades. The whole time it's doing this, I'm like, nope, you don't do that anymore. We're not doing that. We're not taking trades like that. Because I did that last week quite a bit. Friday I did better. I took my setup, but it just wasn't a winner, which is okay. But prior to that, I've been looking at things like this and saying, ooh, I think it's going to take that blue line. It was actually the red line down here at the bottom that I was thinking all week, and we stayed in a little mess like that. And each time we'd start heading that way, I'd go short, expecting it to go there, and it wouldn't. And I lost every single day last week, except even Friday I lost. I did get $1,500 in my combine in the last 30 minutes of the day. But in my XFAs, I lost every single day. I think one of them I had a profit. It may have been this one. I had a profit one day. Nope, this one is not the one. That day wasn't too bad. But every day I lost. There was one of them I had a $170 day on one of them. my baby, this one right here, I'm going into my 8th week on it, I think. I got it down to $18. I caught this trade tonight. I didn't trade it Friday. I got it down to $18. Look at that, 5 losing days in a row. That one hurt, and that one hurt real bad. But I'd just taken a payout on it, so then I went into a drawdown on it. But yeah, I think we're going on 8 weeks. This is the first week of October. 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we're heading into the 8th week on it. And that's pretty good for me. Pretty good. Monthly P&L, only 503. That was a rough month. But I was trading that garbage. And then now here we are. Hopefully I won't trade garbage. Took 2 trades, up 256 on the day. I need to lock that. I really need to just lock it, but I'm going to wait and see what tomorrow has to bring. I may even jump into a trade tonight if we get a good reversal signal. But it will only be 1 micro, and it will have to be a good reversal signal. Because that is my baby, and I do not, when I got that account, I made a promise to myself that I would trade small size and I would not blow up another account. And so far, I have not blown up another account. But I have been trading like an idiot. Definitely been trading like a freaking maniac. So this is looking a lot like the macro here. Very, very similar. So we may have a dip and then push through, or we may have a rip up and then a fall after this next 12 minutes passes. This one started to fall at 7:06 and then rip to the sky. And so this one may do the same thing, or it may do the opposite thing. Maybe we go up and then fall. I think we should leave this open. If my bearish hypo is going to work out, we need to leave that open. We don't need to get past the halfway point of it for sure. And if you look, we have a fair value gap to the bottom here. We've worked up into it several times, took that high, left that one, pulled big away, but we did take the weekly low. So it could go either way, really. All we can do is rely on our reversal patterns here. I should have taken this long, 1,000%, but my hypo was short and it was falling, and I have a hard time avoiding jumping into those. Worked out on that one trade, but the reversal pattern is what I should have taken there, because we did take a 4-hour low. I really should have taken it. There's a 5-minute range, Jamie Salgado. Could have put in a order right there at the bottom of that wick, taking profit right there at the top. How many points we talking about there for that candle? Man, that's 20 points. That would have been a really nice $400 scalp. You could do it again if you wanted to. I ain't touching it. It's even a 15-minute low over here. This is a time of day where I typically put an order, an alert in my moo and tell it, let me know when it hits 50, 250, 25, 250. If it hits there, we're good. I'm not sure I would take a short if it validated here, since we've been so bullish since taking that guy. I want to see it take some of this. it's kind of looking like it's going to do the path of last macro where we dip and then rip. I want to see a rip then dip. What do you think, fellas? Are we dipping and ripping like the last macro? Or is this the high of Asia session? It would be awfully freaking predictable if we dipped and ripped. But I really want it to take that. I want it to work into this and reject. My arrogance is my weakness. The spirits with the spirit world have their purpose in me too. I don't know what you're talking about. Ask me anything and I can you an answer. Okay, Gregory. May I speak wisdom here? Or will you block me like agents usually do? Well, I haven't heard any wisdom yet, but speak away. Speak away. You don't know me at all. How do you know I'm arrogant? Gregory. I did ask you a question. I said, how do you know I'm arrogant when you don't know me at all? You said I'm arrogant and my arrogance is my weakness, but you don't know me, so how can you even say I'm arrogant? I'm probably the most humble trader on the internet. I tell everybody all of my mistakes. You show me somebody that's willing to get on here and get their butt handed to them day after day after day and show the fact that they got their butt handed to them. No, it's not arrogance. It's humility. So, where's your wisdom? That's what I want to know. You said, may I speak some wisdom, or will you block me like the Asians usually do? I want to hear some of your wisdom. Gregory. Are you a trader or just a spiritual guru? I am humble because I am a faithful believer in Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ was humble. Yeah, me too. But I wouldn't get on somebody's live stream and start calling them names right out of the gate when you don't know them. You been drinking, Gregory? Well, I do believe in spiritual gifts. You just haven't demonstrated any yet. You're just saying what you know. Give me an example. Ask me anything. Okay. I asked you, how do you know I am arrogant when you don't know me at all? I'm humble. I'm kind. I share my successes as well as my failures. What is arrogant about that? Okay, Gregory, I'm going to ask you a question that you want to hear rather than the question that I want to ask. Okay? Um, you're a scientist. Last week, the aurora borealis was visible in Texas, where I am located. What phenomenon caused the aurora borealis to be visible in most of the southern United States? And do you know the common name for the aurora borealis? I know you're over there Googling the crap out of this right now, so you can pretend like you're smart, but go ahead. I want to hear what your answer is. Why don't you tell me what question you want me to ask you? I've already asked you two questions, you won't answer them. So just tell me the question you want me to ask you, and I'll ask you. I think, Gregory, that this candle right here, when this one gets above it, we're going to see a pullback, a red candle following it. Why would that be? There's a question for you. Why would it do that? Why would it take that high and then pull back? Okay, I'll ask you that. Gregory, who's going to be president in 2028? Linda Perry. I don't even know who that is, but if you say it, it's got to be true. Well, we took that high by a tick. Is that all we want? Are we going up here? Oh, look, Gregory. It took that and then it pulled back a little ways. I wonder why. Oh, we're pushing higher though. It wasn't a red candle. That's 5-minute candle. The 1-minute candle was red. See there? Boom, boom. Oh, it didn't take it on the red. No, I was incorrect. Incorrect. So we did do a little dip and rip. Similar to this, but not as big. I would like to see it rip up to here. Hard and fast. Person could probably get long there, but we're too close to that one to mess around with that. Reversal patterns only, Potter. Don't trade stupid trades. Your place to get in at this one was way down there at the red line, so you're already too far into the trade to try to get in for the last few points. Man, that would have been a nice one though. Really freaking nice. I was talking to my trading buddy and I told him it's either going to go down and then up or up and then down. We could go either direction. I wanted it to go up and then down, and when I saw it pushing, I said, this is it, we're going down first. And I jumped in and got a little bit of money off that one trade, but then I lost it in my combine. I did not expect it to go all the freaking way back up there. I did not expect that at all. If I would have had Gregory listening to my program, he could have told me what it was going to do, but I didn't. I don't really mess around with politics at all, Gregory, so you could tell me Scooby-Doo was going to be president in 2028, and I'd say, all power to you. But I hope Linda Perry is going to be a good one, you know. Hope she's good with the economy. We need that. I hope other nations fear her so they don't bomb us. So you don't know anything about trading. I understand. Do you have anything better to do besides hop on people's live streams and tell them how knowledgeable you are? And who's going to be president in 2028? What kind of work do you do for a living, Gregory? Reversal pattern here is going to have to be taken, although I don't want to take it, but I'm going to have to take it. If we get one, I got to. This did not take this by a significant amount, so I don't want to see a reversal pattern here. I really don't. I want to see it get up into this and reject. VA disability. Well, thank you for your service to our country. The market is a learnable skill. There are repeatable patterns, and if you learn them, you can actually exploit the market and make money. But if you walk into it like it's a casino, you will lose money. The things I look for is not a gamble at all. I can show you. See these red lines, these blue lines? That's a 4-hour high, and that's a 4-hour high. After studying the movement of the market for 2 years, I've learned that when we take a regular trading hour 4 hour high or low, we put up a pattern that is very distinct. From a 1 minute chart, you can use the last up close candle, then you put a line on it. You'll need a fair value gap moving through it or above it, and then a pullback to that fair value gap would be your entry for a long position. It's just like this almost every time. This was the cleanest one I've seen in a while, so I'm hoping during the government shutdown it was not clean. But this is the very cleanest one I've seen in a long time. So good that I did not even take it because I thought this got to be some sort of an anomaly. But that's what they look like. You can go through my channel and you can look at all the daily reversal pattern videos and you can see this over and over and over and over, because the market is delivering price with an algorithm. So a computer is telling it to bounce off of this candle. It's not random price movement. And that's what I've figured out. And that's what makes it not a casino, but rather a waiting game for the signal. The algorithm gives this signal. It's so big money will know what's about to happen. Just get on the side of big money and you can make money. This one actually did put up a signal, but I didn't trust it because we had not taken the high. This one we have taken the high, but we didn't take it by much. And we have another one just really, really close at a round number. So I don't want to see one here. I want to see it go to there. But I will take one if it shows up here. So this is now our highest high. So our last up close before the high is this one. That would be our breaker. We would need price to start closing below it. Right there. I use an orange line for the bearish. We would need price to start closing below this green candle with a fair value gap. That's what this is, but only red. And then show a willingness to continue down. And that's my signal to the downside. It's an algorithmic signature. It's either there or it's not. And it has to occur around one of these levels, 4 hour regular trading hour levels. You think we're going up there, Joey? I do too. I want to. I really, really want to. And so I don't want to see a reversal pattern here, but I will take it if I get it. My hypo was originally we reversed at the 50% of last week's range. And so taking this one and reversing here would be okay, because I want this to remain open. That means we're really bearish overall if this remains open. And if it did go there, I mean, you're in longs. Oh man, good for you. Yeah, you're getting paid. I would be real cautious here. If this validates the breaker with a fair value gap to the downside, I might be going break even. Just in case it does. Wrong. It's not the best time of night for it to do that, but when we take a 4 hour high, the possibility of reversing is very, very high. Even this, I want it to go there. I think it's going to go there, but the market cares not what I think. This one, we took the 4 hour low, reversed right away. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. I should have taken that one. My goodness, I should have taken that one. Look at all that. I could just take that one and aim for this blue line. That's where it's going. Look at that. It would have got in perfect fill right here to that blue line. That's 187 points. Double that, and that's what you could have made on one micro. That's what? $374 on one micro. No risk, very little risk. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Why are we reluctant to go any higher here? Pushed up, made a lower high, but we can't go any lower either. I think you're good on this one, Joey, but just watch it close. I would definitely put my stop to where I don't lose everything on this trade. We're not that far away. We could rip down 20 points quickly. I might put it around this fair value gap here. The bottom is at 27. I would put it at least to there. Just to be careful, just to be safe, so you get some money off your trade. This fair value gap should provide a barrier. The center point, if we break through it, and you include the volume imbalance whenever you do these fair value gaps, so it would be right here, and it is to the upside, so I'm going to make it blue. If we stay above this dotted line with candle bodies, you're okay, but if we start piercing them, flatten. Wait for another opportunity. The wicks can pierce. The wicks are okay, but we want the candle bodies staying above in this upper quadrant for it to remain bullish on this move. Now, I think you're good. I think you're going to be okay, but just be cautious there. I don't want you to lose what you got already. good so far, Jerry. It is respecting that halfway point very nicely. I would like to see it go on its run. This is also a bearish order block, which they get traded through all the time. Nothing to be alarmed about. But it can be. Why is my breaker line all the way down here? That's our breaker right there. No, this is it. I see what I'm doing. The last up close before the run down, before the run up. So, no, it's the last down close candle before the run up. So it could either be this or it could be that. But either way, we don't have a fair value gap beneath it. I'm going to use this 1 minute candle right here. It's green candles when we're going down and red candles when we're going up. So far, we're still respecting this nicely. We took that wick. We don't want to see it take this one for more bullish. No fair value gaps though, yet. It's okay for wicks to pierce it. We just don't want the candle bodies to close below the halfway point. Alright, it looks like we're getting a fair value gap here. I hope you're considering taking that trade off. I mean, we haven't closed yet, so hold on to it for a minute, but we could rip all the way down. The stop should be at least right here. If you're in at 22, that'll get you 4 points. Let's see if this remains open. If it does, I'm going to take a short here. We just painted that wall. Did not leave the fair value gap open. That's lending to more upside potential. Well, Gregory, that's where you and I differ, because I share all of my information for free. It doesn't belong to me, it belongs to God, so why would I want to keep it to myself? The guy that shared it with me got it from God, and he said share it with everybody and don't charge for it, so I don't. And he doesn't either. There are good people in this world. Contrary. I am like a bird adrift. That's why we should all be. I like the mood music. If you cling too tightly to the ideas that your human mind contrives, you can become cold and calloused. Make you do things like get on the internet and jump onto somebody's live stream and start insulting them when you don't know them. So just keep an open mind. There are good people out there, Jerry. All right, this is looking real good for you, Joey. Real good. We did not violate the bottom of this thing with candle bodies. Now we're trading back up. We have no fair value gaps in any of this. We could just be ranging, but right now this is looking like a bull flag. And we should start pushing higher here. We have a volume imbalance to the upside. Just want to see this candle reach back up. I would like to see it make a new high within the next 3 candles here for this to remain bullish. Otherwise, we're just going to stay in a range. We work back into the volume imbalance. That's normal. Now we should, like a rubber band, pop for it to remain bullish here. Why did you come here, Jerry? Maybe you came here because I was supposed to tell you something you needed to hear. Keep an open mind. If you cling too tightly to an idea, you alienate yourself from people that you may have been able to influence. I taught school for many years, Gregory, and a lot of the kids I taught grew up in very rough homes and wore a chip on their shoulder, and they're rough, difficult to deal with. Gangbanger kids. And if you approach them with an insult right out of the gate, you're not going to be able to reach them. But if you approach them with kindness in your heart, they might listen to you one day. How many people have come up to you years later, Jerry, and said, Gregory rather, and said, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. You saved my life. I was going down a bad path, and you showed me you cared, and I just wanted to thank you for that. How many people have come up to you and said that? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this one now is no longer showing a bearish. We went back up into this breaker. Still don't have a fair value gap, but we're trying to form one. Still could just be ranging. Coming back to the 30s and then pushing back up is very common. But making a new low here, that wasn't necessary. Not for a bullish move. That's not what I'm asking you, Jerry. You came in here asking me to ask you a question, and you could answer anything. So I just asked you a question. How many people have come up to you and said that you did something that changed their life? A word, a hug, a smile. At their lowest moment, maybe you said, you know what, I care about you, and I want you to have a successful life. Anything like that. Has anybody ever come up to you and said that? It is, Jerry. I'm going to quote the Tao Te Ching for you here. Let's see if I can remember the line, the verse. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? And what is a bad man but a good man's job? So it is your job. As a Christian, you need to be an example to people. They need to see you and say, I want to be like that guy. He's got it together. And it's hard to influence people when you insult them right out of the gate. So I'm just saying, keep an open mind. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Maybe you're not here to catch flies. Maybe you're here to incite. Maybe your intention is to upset. That also is lending to my calm demeanor, because I'm not going to let you upset me. So far, we are having a little fair value gap to the downside right now, but this candle has not closed. So don't get too excited. If it does close, I want to attempt to take an entry one tick below the high of this candle. And the high of that candle, you can see it right up here when I highlight it. The high of that candle is 28.75. So if we close here, I'm going to attempt to take an entry at 28.50. Just one micro at 28.50. If I can get it down there in time, I keep missing 28.75. Come on. I got to expand it over here. 28.50. Right there. Perfect. See if I can get a fill. Here's our fair value gap to the downside. Right there. I'm going to make it orange. I would expect to wick back up into here and respect it. This one's already been traded through, so I'm going to delete it. And really, you should wait for this candle to finish to make sure it's respected before you just jump right into the trade. So now, this one respected so far. I mean, we did not just trade right back through it, so that's good. So I would expect this one to go no further than halfway with candle bodies. So that's good, we got filled. Now we need to stay beneath it, or the trade's no longer valid. Okay, Jerry, I've got a question for you. How could you approach people in a way that they would want to run to you rather than run away from you. Not saying people want to run away from you. I'm just saying in general. It does not even have to be with you. Just how could you approach somebody in a way where they would want to be your pal or anybody's pal? How could anybody approach anybody? They make friends, you know. This is a nice little PD array. It's not the cleanest reversal pattern, and I'm not 100% sure this is it, but I hope it is, because if it is, we're going to be trading down for a good long while. We're going to be going at least to settlement, in log, possibly pre-market low, possibly way the heck down here. That's where I want to go. Or I could get stopped out in the next 10 seconds. But I like the fact that we've traded lower. We could just aim for these lows right here too. Usually in this situation, I mean, we've taken this. We didn't want to go any higher. We should not be revisiting this. We should not be revisiting that. So, to me, this trade is no longer valid. If this candle body closes with above here, then we're no good. If it's just wicks, we're okay. But really, I don't even like to see that. That says we're not in an aggressive move down for sure. So this candle body opened inside, pushed higher. I think at most we're just going to wick down and take out these wicks. I don't think we're going to go much further than that. I am going to take off my risk here. Might as well just take my 50 cents. But there's still a chance it could rip lower. Not much of one. I'll put it at the high of this candle right here. That's a $7. A $7 risk. I'm willing to risk that. That's how lacking confidence I am in this trade. I think I'm at the high of this one. 32. Yep, I am. So far, we have not invalidated this fair value gap. And now we're putting some nice little PD arrays to the downside. So, we've still got some teeth. Still got some teeth. Probably take it there. Just be glad I got a couple of pennies out of it. This could absolutely be the high of the day we just witnessed. I can't imagine New York not wanting to reach back up into this, but it's okay if it doesn't. So there's these lows. We should definitely consider going to break even. So far all we've done is rip lows and then gone right back higher. I'm gonna put on at least get $5 out of this sucker. We're back to round number almost. If you look at that from a higher time frame perspective, we just swept these lows. That's all we did. So we could certainly go higher, but we do have a fair value gap to the downside on the 1 minute chart, and a breaker that's been respected and returned to. So this is a pivotal moment right here. Very pivotal moment. We're either going to take those and go back up, or we're going to continue. I would like to see it remain below 20 on this deal. We have another fair value gap to the downside. We just wicked into it. Need to make a new low. And that's round number. Often a bounce point. Like to see it push through. It's a really nice PD array there. How far down we're going? Questionable. That is another fair value gap. This one was respected. This one's been respected. That one didn't even get revisited. But we are at round number. I usually kill it at round number and see what happens next. We just took this wick. Definitely a possibility we go straight back up from here. Adam, I'm just going to answer you on here. I got rid of the crosshairs by selecting up here. If you do the crosshairs, then you can see them on both screens over here. But if you just select the arrow, then it doesn't. It still shows the price level you're at, but it doesn't have the lines. That's how I keep from mirroring it. No, I wouldn't call this micro scalping. I would call this a reversal pattern at a 4-hour high. And so I'm not looking at getting $50 out of this trade. I'm looking for this to be the high of the day. And that these things get respected and we continue down. We already took this, so maybe this in the NWOG or settlement would be our aim. Micro scalping would be 10 10 to 15 points. It would be done in a small range like this. Or a small range like that, you could scalp. That's actually like a 20-point range you could scalp. But this is actually a reversal pattern. We had one at the bottom. It was beautiful. I wish I would have taken it right here. Our last up close candle on the way down, that's our lowest point. So we mark the last up close and see how we pushed through with a fair value gap, wicked into it, and away we freaking went all the way to that next 4-hour regular trading hour high. And so I'm hoping right now this PD array looks good. We have a small fair value gap here, respected. One here, so far, respected. And so offering down at least to the middle of this range is a possibility. Offering much, much lower is a possibility. Down here is a level that I have a lot of interest on. It's a regular trading hour, 4-hour low. It's last week's low. And we also have one here that's a daily, weekly low and a 4-hour regular trading hour low. And I'm bearish on the week. I'm bearish on the month. So I want to see it come down here, but I don't know if it will. If you look at my weekly and monthly, that's the monthly chart right there. We went up and we failed to make a new high, and we've been trading down since then. Weekly perspective, we put up a bearish week, took out that low, actually closed below, and so we got another red candle, but it's a doji. And so far this one, we've retraced to 50% of the week. We took out a 4-hour high. Did not want that one yet. We may still want it. Fair value gaps to the downside on the daily chart, 2 of them. One here, wicked into it, did not even take that high. Made another one. So far, we've wicked into it, did not take that high. Will we? Possibly. I'm hoping not. So from that daily perspective, we have lots of stuff down here we can aim at. What do we have up here we could aim at? Well, we could fill this in, we could fill that in. So it could still go either way. But if we're going to remain bearish, we need to stay below here, below that 50% of last week with candle bodies on these higher time frames, which could be a 4-hour, even a 1 hour. 1 hour already surpassed it. Well, not today. Yeah, it did. I'd say that 4-hour looks good. It lends more. But we just took that 4-hour high, and now we're offering lower. We could continue lower. We have a 4-hour fair value gap here we've wicked into. Or we could continue higher. Seasonal tendency this time of year is lower. But we also have big numbers coming out, and we haven't had big numbers come out in a long time. So we could push higher. Don't know. All I can do is obey my system. We took a 4-hour, we put up a reversal signal. I'm in. I don't know what the market's going to do next. I just know this signal, this one's a pretty crappy one. I just know this signal usually produces movement to the downside. And conversely, here, it usually produces movement to the upside. And you can see the movement it did to the upside. That is an algorithmic signature right there. Has nothing to do with buyers, sellers, any of that. It's an algorithmic signature. And you can go to my playlist and look at the reversal patterns, daily reversal patterns, and you'll see this repeat every day. Since the government shutdown, it's been pretty choppy and pretty nasty. And I haven't done many of those videos since the shutdown because they really haven't been that present. But same situation here. We had a low, the last up close candle. We have a fair value gap that pushed through. It was respected, and we went to the freaking moon. Look at that. If you didn't get in there quick and get your fill would be a tick above the low of this candle. Get your fill. There wasn't a whole lot of other places to enter. Another fair value gap here, didn't come back down to it. More fair value gaps. This is the only one you could have entered in right there besides that one. And or right at settlement. I actually tried to get in here at 38 and I didn't get filled. I had it at 35 or something and I didn't get filled. I was going to try to get that move up. But I think this one might have stopped me out if I would have got in at 38. Yeah, that would have probably stopped me out. And 25 points is my stop loss typically. But that's a beautiful reversal pattern there. This would have been a nice pullback when we took those lows for the push to the blue line. But this is not encouraging. We took the low and now we've halted. To me, it needs to really make an aggressive move down if we're going to have a continued move to the downside. But I don't know that. All I know is I can follow the algorithmic signature, which says fair value gap respected, fair value gap respected. We are starting to make higher lows. So it's starting to look a little rolly, like it's going to go back up. Oftentimes, if it does, it may come back up here and touch this and then go down. We can go back to Friday's price action. When we created these 4-hour highs, we went up, we made a lower high, we pulled away with a fair value gap. Here is our last down close candle before the run up. I'm gonna mark it out. I'm gonna do the high and the low. And you just watch how price behaves. It was a long time. Here's our first fair value gap after the breaker right there. And price did initially respect it. See, this one's coming back up now. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it off. I want it to stay below 20. 20 is okay. 20 is okay, but I want it to stay below 20. I'm at 26. It doesn't really matter. So that's our first fair value gap. When we respected it initially, and then we came back, I entered here. We pushed down, but we left this low. We came back up into the breaker, creating the 4-hour high we're at now. In regular trading hours, didn't want any higher than that. That's as high as it wanted. We respected the breaker. We didn't ever have any candle body close above it, and we fell out of bed. And we're about to get stopped out. We sure did. All right, so then we fell. And this is where we ended up settling on Friday. But we finally came and we took those lows right there. Actually, we left that one. We got real close. We took this one. That was a nice push down to close out the day. But it took forever. That is an ugly reversal pattern. That's the way they've looked ever since the government shutdown. Prior to the government shutdown, they looked more like this. This one to me, ugly. We are back to the breaker, and we are back to that fair value gap, but I don't believe it's going to stay below it. It may not violate this, but I don't know that. And so I'm not going to be taking another short here. It just wanted this liquidity, and I would say now, here's where we're aiming. But I can't join it yet because we haven't violated this breaker. Isn't it interesting that we reversed? This is the breaker from Friday. We touched the top of it and we pulled back. Algorithmic. Dip, rip. Dip, rip. Interesting. So now we're back to this breaker. Let me get rid of this guy. It may be pertinent, but not for me. We just took that high. We are respecting the breaker. We got a lower high. I don't know, this is an ugly reversal if it is one. That's a big candle. Why are we having such a pullback there? 17 points. I'm going to take it. Just one. I'm going to market sell one. And it may just want that and then we go back up, but we'll see. I'll know right away if we start trading back above this fair value gap, then I'll just kill it. But I am encouraged by the fact that we took this high and not that one. At this point I could go to break even because I don't want it to come back up here. And if it does, the trade's invalid. So. Not completely invalid. I could leave it a little bit of room. I'm going to go to there. No, that's $40. I'm going to watch because this fair value gap has not formed, and that's the rule. We touch the breaker and we pull back away with a fair value gap. This one has not finished yet, so we don't know if it's a fair value gap yet. I entered a little early. We need 15 seconds on this candle to finish, and then we need that high of this fair value gap to remain open. All right, there it is. So now this is our fair value gap of contention that we need to respect at least the halfway point of it. And the halfway point is actually, as I market it in, 24, pretty close to my entry. So if it violates it, I'll be able to get out with minimal loss. Gotta let the candle finish. This is the original, this is the secondary. This candle body should close below the halfway point. We got 10 seconds. Two, three, one. Okay, that's it. We're done. So this one is invalidated. And that's the way you do it. Just, it's either gonna work or it's not. You don't hold on, wishing, praying. It may come and touch this again, but at this point I'm not interested. I think we're trading to here now. And I could probably take a long here and be okay. But I would rather, because it could go here and then back down here and back up there, I'd rather wait to see what happens when it gets here than try to catch that long. Because this is multiple points. Unless we just keep continuing to go up and make an all-time high. And then I will be wishing I got in here. But right now, I just want to see what happens when it gets there. That's a reversal trader. I've been taking continuation trades and getting my butt handed to me time and time and time again, and I'm done with it. I'm only going to take reversal trades. I don't know that it's really going to be productive to stay on the live stream. We're 3 hours into this Asian market, almost the same amount of time. almost the same amount of time. I don't know what I was saying. I was reading the chat. I don't know. I don't know that I want to spend any more time on it, to be honest. I think I may have lost the couple of dollars I made. Yeah, I'm down $14 now. So, not bad. Recoverable. We're still actually respecting this breaker, but I don't like to see it revisit the breaker that many times with a 4-hour high just looming right above. We should have respected this if we were going down, bottom line. So this is a range situation now, and you don't want to try trades in a range situation more than twice. You'll just erode your P&L. So we need to offer higher and put up another reversal pattern. That's the plan. That's the plan. Gregory, you still with us? Even though this is not at a 4-hour, there are points to be made from that right there. That's our last up close before we ran this liquidity right here. We pulled away with a fair value gap, returned, that's actually going to be a purple line, to the bullish breaker marked in purple, respected it. You want to see it respect the halfway point at least with candle bodies. Right there. The whole thing. We did. We respected the halfway point with candle bodies very nicely and pulled away with fair value gaps. Entering here for more upside possibility. I'm not taking it. But it is a viable trade. Entering here would be the ideal situation. As soon as we poked down here and then started back up, marketing in right there and grabbing yourself, right to there where you got in somewhere on this candle here, you could have grabbed at least 10-20 points, no problem at all. But that is also a fair value gap here, so you could enter there. The problem is we're butting up against that breaker, and if we're ranging, it could come right back down. That's why I don't take those, because I've been burned on those too many times too. I get burned on everything. But occasionally, I find an acorn. They say blind hogs do that from time to time. I want to give a shout out to A10 Trader. He caught that long. Got him 75 points out of it off of a mini. Ain't too bad. That's a pretty good Asia trade right there. He got rich in Asia. This is interesting to me, folks. Pretty interesting. I marked out that breaker from Friday earlier. I'm going to mark it out again. And we're going to just compare the price action, because if this is an algorithm for delivering this price that we're seeing right now, it appears to be. All right, there's our Friday breaker. And let's just look at this little section of price action right here. And we'll compare it. You know what I need to do? I need to change these lines to small lines so they're not clouding our judgment over here. We'll just do a trend line on there. Blow it back up. That's our breaker there, or here. Here. Okay, so yeah. We could actually go all the way over to here with it. We'll delete this one. Move that guy down to the bottom. Okay, so that gives us our perspective of what we had on Friday. Okay. And we look at that price action there. We went up, we consolidated, we got a big old mess, came down, went back up to the deal, came down again, back up, messing around, creating this 4-hour high. Now let's look at this in comparison. There's our breaker right here. We can use the trend line on this. It's not going to interfere. I mean, a regular line on that. Okay, so we went up, we came down, we came back up. We respected the fair value gap, then we came down, we swept some liquidity, we've gone back up, we're dancing around the breaker, and now we're offering back lower again. Do those not look similar to you? And then what happened? You fell out of bed. Not all the way. We actually left that low until today. What happened at the beginning of Friday was actually a 4-hour low somewhere around here, pre-market low. We ripped down and we took it, and then we went on a big run up. What happened today? We went down, we took the 4-hour low, and we went on a big run up. Interesting? Let's look at it at a higher time frame. Friday's move. If we go back over here, we can see this is the 4-hour low we took right there. And then we created this one. But we took that one, bam, and then immediately shot up. What did we do today? We took this one, and bam, immediately shot up. Went all the way back to settlement. What did we do on Friday? On this day, we went all the way back up to settlement. Hung out at 50% for a minute, and then went all the way to settlement. This one, we went immediately back to settlement. Did we hang out? Doesn't look like we hung out at all. Maybe a little bit right there we pulled back. But we did come back to settlement and then pushed higher. I don't know, they look similar to me. They look similar. Not as much volume, not as much energy, but similar. Does it mean anything? I don't know. I don't know. All I can do is say when we take a 4-hour high, I look for a reversal pattern. But this to me looks similar to this. We came up, we meandered around, made everything miserable, hung out in this area for a very long time, but ultimately respected the breaker. And I think that's what we're doing right here too. Took that high. Didn't take a high. Well, we took that high. Interesting. I think I'm going to try it again. I'm going to limit sell at that 50% mark. Where'd that be? 25. Mark limit sell. No. That is the big contract. We don't want anything to do with that. 1 at 25. Even. There we go. Let's just see what happens there. Is it 25 even? Yeah, 25.50. I could move it up. There we go. Every tick counts, right? But we could just be bouncing off this bullish and going back up. But I like that. I like the way they look similar. If it's the same algorithm that was working on Friday, then we may be on to something. Pattern recognition. If you extend these lines all the way out, we're still respecting that breaker from Friday. Huh. I didn't get in. I didn't get filled. So now where could I get filled? What about the high of that breaker? 17. Maybe. Maybe I mark it in here. Put a little risk on. Middle of the breaker. If we invert this, the center point's a pretty good spot. How about 13? I'll try 13. The top's also a good spot for inversion. Let's look at a 1 minute candle. That's fair value gap to the downside. 1250. That would be a good entry. This would be a better entry, but we didn't come back to it. I tried. So this 1250 is the high of this. 1250, yeah. So 12 even is where I would want to fill, hopefully. We haven't completely invalidated this breaker. We need a candle body closing below it first. 7 seconds, we'll have one. Get up there and fill me, you dirty rat feet. Go, come on. Come on, 1 tick. 1 tick below the high of this candle. It could work into it. Could work into this. But that'll be okay. If we can just get filled here, I think we'll be okay. Or it could just be ranging again. But I really like the fact that this looks so similar to Friday. And if that was algorithmic, then we're good to go. We have found the high of the day. We will soon know. My stop is way above the high. Is that $100? What does that say? $100? Yeah. I don't know if I really want to risk $100, but I'll sit here and keep an eye on it.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T. Or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store.
I think this is going to be my trade, guys. It may get smoked, but I think this should get us back to settlement. I'm not going to try for complete exodus from... I don't know if I will. I think I should. I think I should try. I know these levels are good down here. That was that previous 4 hour. I know these levels are good if we're going to offer there. We're either this one's either going to get smoked, which is looking like it might, or we're going to start offering lower. On Friday we did not offer all the way back down. We only went down about 25% of the range. So if it's the same algorithm delivering price, then we can get a pretty good idea of where we may offer to on this move down. So let's put a fib on this guy. There's the high. When we offered back down, it was just about, I don't know, 30%. Right here is actually where we offered to. Yeah, that'd be about 30%. So let's do the same tool, but let's put it over here. From the low to the high. The first pullback was 75%. So that would be to the pre-market high approximately 189. We don't have much room to get to 189. What about half the range? That would be the NWOG and settlement. I like that better. More money. We'll try settlement. No, we'll try NWOG. We'll try NWOG. I mean, this was an aggressive move. Surely we can offer some price action in the middle of that. 143, 140, 134. We'll do a tentative 134. If it gets there quick, I might have to take it off. I might have to move it down. I want to see, and this is going to sound crazy, but we've been moving 500, 600 points a day. I want to see these relative equal lows on the weekly chart fall before we have our Santa Claus rally. We're only 2,000 points away. And if we're dropping 500 points a day, it only takes 4 days to get there. So I want by December 1st to be here. I'd be okay if it was the end of this week. October's low. This is the Friday when we fell out of bed. That's the first draw. And this one is also a nice draw. And that one's this week's low. I like those. I want to see price go there. The weekly to me looks bearish. It really does. Attempt to push higher, failed. Attempt to push higher, failed. All-time high. Pulled back, took the weekly low. Tried to go higher, didn't. Made a lower low. That's our next target right there, 425. Right here. Regular trading hour and last week's low. Oh, right here, right here. Regular trading hour, daily and weekly low, 24,410. It's our next target to the downside. That's where I want to see it go. So if my analysis is correct and I move it down here to 24,410, assuming New York wants nothing to do with revisiting those highs, That's a pretty good chunk of money right there. 24,410. Could we fall out of bed overnight down to there? I don't know. How many points are we talking about? From where we entered all the way to there is 800 points. That's a little much for one day. That's a little bit much. So our next one is there at 638. How far is that? From where we entered to 638. That's 577 points. We moved that far on Friday and on Thursday. Are we going to do it tonight? Are we going to do it on a no news Monday? Probably not. Probably not. So maybe our best option, and it looks like we're just going to be pushing right back up and take me out. Maybe our best option, if I would have waited for that fill at 25, I would have got it, is settlement. Middle of the range, these lows perhaps. Looks like we're just going to be ranging here. We're offering straight back up. We took out the 5-minute fair value gap. Still have a minute for this candle to finish, so we could still pull back, but I don't like the fact that we came down close to round number, didn't hit it, and now we're offering higher. I think this might be a loser. Why didn't we take round number? We did violate the order, the breaker. We did violate that for sure. We're into a 1-minute fair value gap to the downside. Yeah. I don't know that any of these PD arrays are amounting to anything. I think they're all just range play. We have a big range that we're just dancing around in now. We did have an end wall here, and I don't have it marked, and that might be what we're doing. Let's go back to the daily chart. November 7. November 7, November 10. We're not there. We're trading here. This is the end log from there. Trading right about that candle's close, which happens to be 50% of this last week. Interesting. Going back to that end log is possible. I don't know. I'm not liking the price action here. I think we should have continued down there. If we were going to go down from there, we should have went ahead and took that trip and made a new low here. So it's just looking rangy now. I think I'm done with Asia. Didn't get rich. I did not get rich. After leaving the breaker for the third time, 1, 2, 3, this is our new fair value gap. It's our 50% a week, or is that 50% of the range? $50% of last week is there. I don't know why that was on there. I was measuring out our whole range here, and I didn't do it with the right tool. Right here. That's our whole range. 60 points. We could just be dancing in this 60-point range here. We didn't take the highs or the lows. on that push. What time of day is it? It's 8:41. I want this to be the high of the day. I'm not convinced that this is going down. But I'm not convinced it's going up either. I am convinced I could have got a better entry. That 25 would have filled it. But it didn't look like it at the time. It did not look like it at the time. Will the third fair value gap from the breaker hold? Very little confidence. Very little confidence. From a 15-minute chart perspective, I'll just put it over here. That's what we look like. Good Lord. How am I even in a trade here? Lower high, higher high, lower high, higher low, higher low, higher low. It's just a coin flip. We didn't push into the 30s. We respected that guy. Now we're respecting this guy, and we revalidated it with a fair value gap. Holy cheese balls. High or low. I mean, it's just on both sides. We're just... The only reason I'm even entertaining the idea of just letting this thing play out is because we took this 4-hour high. It's the only reason. But I don't have a whole lot of confidence in it. If we could break below here and make a new low, I would have a whole lot more confidence in it. But it may take until 6 o'clock in the morning to do that, and I really don't want to stay on the live stream, and I may not even hold this trade. I mean, I'm already getting a little bit flustered by it. The way the market's been moving a lot is rip one way and then consolidate, rip one way and then consolidate, and once the consolidation happens, the reversal signals are very, very ugly. And I'm hoping to get out of that this week, but that's what we did Friday. Rip and consolidate, rip and consolidate. And then the day before was the opposite. Rip down. Oh, we actually had an opportunity to enter there if you were going to enter in the first couple of minutes on a 200-point rip to the upside. Rip down, consolidate, rip down, rip down, rip down, rip down, 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 down. No reversal. No reversal. Directional day. Didn't take any highs. Didn't really do much of anything. This was resistance. Once we got below the 50%, price was bouncing off of that quite a bit. On Friday's move. We never did get back to it. We this did. If you look at it from that perspective, we just taken out these highs right here. We took it out with this one. And now we've taken out this one. There's potential to get down to here. Maybe not tonight. Maybe it's tomorrow. 629. That would be awesome. Is that where my take profit is? No, it's at 410. 629 would net me $1,100 on one micro. Is it worth risking any money at all? Relative equal highs on the 15-minute chart. They're not that way over here. Maybe they are. Oh, this one's a little higher, and that one's a little lower. Whew, I don't know, guys. I'm not liking the aggressiveness of the move down. The aggressiveness of the move up was much prettier. Candle bodies closing in the upper quadrant of the fair value gap. Relative equal highs on the 15-minute. We're ranging, I'm guessing. If we take this high and we continue up, then we're ranging, and I'm going to kill it. Let's just see what happens. The fair value gap isn't really, I'm going to take it off for now just so we can see this better. So that's our high. We took it. 31, 32. We're aiming for these possibly. I would say that's 100% what's happening. So I'm out. That's it for me, and that's it for my Asia session trading. I did not get rich. It looks like I lost about $64. I should just take the long here and try to make some money, but I'm not going to. Reversal trades only. Only. Don't care if it even bounces off of that again. I'm not interested. Not interested. We took 3 trades off of that. All of them had potential. None of them materialized. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, Conroy, yeah, the micro scalping. There is potential. Like, this is a range. This is a 15-minute range. You can actually play the highs and lows of this thing, and you can get more movement out of it. But because we're so bullish, it's better to enter at the bottom part of it than try to short the top. You can go both directions on it, but I don't know. Because we took that, you may want to, but we also have this we could reach for. But yeah, I don't do the micro scalping because I tend to overtrade anyway, so I had to get together a set of rules that I can follow, and I try to follow them most of the time. A set of rules that keeps me from trading a million times a day, and I still overtrade. And so if I'm trying to trade every one of these ranges that pops up, I'll be taking 5,000 trades a day, and I don't want to do that. So that would be a bad situation. The more trades you take, the higher the probability is that you lose. So in trading, less is more, believe it or not. That's the way it is. But that is a nice little 15-minute range if we continue to ping pong back and forth between that. Just anytime you see a little situation like that, put an order to go long at the low of that wick, and then order to go to take profit there. That would be 20 points or so. And you can do it on a 15-second chart, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart. That's 38 points there. That's not bad. Even with a couple of micros, that'll get you $100, $160. So, yeah, it's definitely, these ranges are great. Asia is really good about staying in ranges. New York, not so much. They can break and break fast. This is our opening candle here. Oh, that's not our opening candle. Yeah, 9:30 a.m. That's Friday. This is Asia's opening candle, and we did have a small little range here, right here. So putting the order to go long at the base of this red candle, take profit at the high. That would have been a nice little trade, and that's on a 15-minute scalp. 60 points. That's not bad. All right, guys, I'm out.